What is up, Las Vegas fans? I'm Jamie.
I'm Ashley.
And this is another installment of Vegas Valuations. Coming up on today's edition of the show, a little different this time around. No actual valuations, though we will be setting the stage ahead of a few valuations that we'll be doing on new experiences that we managed to get up to on our most recent trip to Las Vegas. But it's safe to say that that's actually what we're focusing on today's edition of the show. We were there for Labor Day. We were there for Marktember. We had a lot of fun, and we're breaking down the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just a quick editor's note for transparency. If you hear what sounds like thunder or crashing and banging coming from above us, that is our once very cute puppy. She's reached that stage where she is the worst.
She's very cute.
She chewed the microphones. She also chewed the charging cord. She's chewed everything I own, basically. Shoes, clothes.
Well, put it up.
Yeah, I know. And I know people are probably expecting us to get right into Vegas here, but we have 3 dogs. It's a lot. I don't know what we were thinking. We like dogs. We're dog people. And we like Vegas. And let's get into it. I mentioned it off the top of the show that no valuations today. We've got plenty of those coming up because we did manage to get up to a few new experiences this past trip, including 2 new hotels. We're going to kind of tease that in today's edition, but we were in Vegas for the Labor Day long weekend.
Yep.
I don't know, in the U.S., if they spell Labor Day the way we spell it as Canadians, we add a U. L-A-B-O-U-R. I think in the States, it's just L-A-B-O-R.
Do we add a U?
I'm pretty sure we do. Either way, that's when we were down there. It's Labor Day. It's the same time up here as it is down there, and vice versa, as well as Marktember. And as I referenced, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly of our trip as a quick recap. Let's get into the good, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't start with the people we met. That would be a huge, the good part of this trip. We mentioned that we were going to be down there for Marktember. Now, quick side note here. We did not plan this trip around Marktember. We had already booked this trip several weeks prior to even hearing that, Mark, being pennies from Vegas, was going to be celebrating his birthday down there. So it just happened to be a matter of coincidence. But boy, am I glad that it worked out that way, because it just led us down a road where we got to meet all of these really cool people.
Yeah. We met a lot of great new people.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do my best in the description down below. I'm going to include everybody's social media or links to their YouTube. And I really hope I don't forget anybody. I actually wanted to write it down because we had some really cool and meaningful conversations. But before we get into naming names and showing some photos and showing some video, I just have to say how great this has been the last even 2 trips, where we've been going to Vegas and loving Vegas for half a decade now. Obviously, COVID got in the way of that a little bit. But now this is twice where people we've engaged with on social media, we've had an opportunity to meet down there. And I need to make it abundantly clear, if you're a regular watcher of the show, you're one of the few. We're a relatively small channel compared to some of the other people.
Yes.
And at no point, and maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe you can back me up on this. At no point did I feel like they looked down on us being there.
No.
At no point did I feel like, oh, here comes the small channel. Maybe that's what they were thinking. I don't know. But I didn't feel that way.
No, they were very welcoming.
Yeah. And that's twice now. And I'm gonna quickly reference some people that we should have referenced from our last trip to Vegas that we just haven't yet. So the people we met, very, very quickly, obviously, Mark, being pennies for Vegas, his wife Liz, his mom. We met him before his birthday celebration. Mark is a very quiet guy. Mm-hmm. I was surprised with how quiet he was, but man, very funny.
Yes.
When he doesn't talk a lot. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, he doesn't talk a lot.
I mean, I talk a lot, especially if you get a few drinks in me. People probably get annoyed with the amount. See, she can vouch for it.
They probably do.
But whenever he said something, it was freaking hilarious. Yeah. He would just very quickly, one-liner, and then he would be off doing his own thing. Mark was super welcoming. We went to the stage door together with Mark and Liz. We're going to reference
the mom.
We're going to reference everybody. We're going to give a special shout out at the end, though. I think we have to because we really bonded with a couple, with one couple. That's not to say that we didn't appreciate everybody's visits, but yeah, and the mom, Mark's mom. I, for the life of me, was trying to rack my brain. We just called her Penny's mom.
Yeah, well, and I said that I was going to adopt her as my mom because she's just so sweet.
Do you know how many people said that?
Yeah.
Every video I've seen of all of the creators that were down there, they've all said the same thing. Oh, we're nice. Adopting Penny's mom as our own. At one point, you and her shared an ice cream. Well, you didn't share the same ice cream cone.
We went and got ice cream together.
We walked from the stage door to, I think they were going to Mandalay Bay. We bounced midway through because we were staying at MGM Grand at the time. But was it in Aria that both of you, for some reason, decided, let's get an ice cream cone?
Yeah.
Very bizarre. I looked over, and here's, with all due respect, an older lady that we barely know, and my wife, talking about an ice cream cone that they were both enjoying. It was, again, but immediately you just started to click with these people, and you could see why Mark and Liz and the mom, you can see why there's like a gravitational pull toward them. They've got good vibes, they've got good energy, and they're super welcome. Great. Liz was super friendly too. Yeah, really, really was a treat to meet those people. I'm going to run down the list here because there was a lot of them. Blair, got to know Blair a little bit. Blair has a YouTube page, but I know Blair more so from Twitter. We got to meet Tom and Mindy, specifically Tom, though. We had a nice conversation with Tom. Tom likes his toys. He's very, very tech savvy in terms of this game.
With all the new technology.
Yeah. Man, at one point he took a cool group photo of everybody at Marktember. Let's see here. Oh, special shout out to anybody who's ever dealt with cancer. And I'm sure that there's probably a lot of you who have had this terrible goddamn disease rise up in your life. We had an incredible conversation with Andy from A Good Times production. I'm going to link to a video that he shared. That guy is an inspiration. We had a really special conversation. I got to know him a little bit about the journey he's been on. And I got to tell you, if you're ever in a rough state when it comes to this fucking disease, he's a guy that you can look to and say, if he can do it, maybe so can I. Or, again, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole in terms of how much of an inspiration he was. But, yeah, and a super friendly guy.
Very friendly.
And, again, just like everybody, I didn't know about A Good Times production until I got to know Andy.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been absolutely compelled to watch his videos because he's great at what he does, and he just has a very genuinely nice personality. So that's another one I got a chance to meet. We got to meet Ron. And I think my spirit animal here, out of all the people we met,
I just totally know who it is.
He is my man. He's like Kramer from those videos. I'm not don't mean that to be insulting. He is my spirit animal. Don Redman. Man, I got to tell you, I don't get starstruck often. In a previous life, I was a broadcaster, so I've met some big names. I've met some really interesting people in my life. But when Don Redman walked into Tom's Urban, cigarette lit, with a beer in hand, quite clearly, still a little tipsy, and everybody's like, Don, you can't smoke in here. And he pulls his cigarette out, and he's like, you sure? The guy has an energy. You absolutely have to admit that.
He does.
Again,
very nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
As much as I love getting to know everybody, he was the only guy I said, I have to get a picture with you. I need a picture with Don. So Don, if you're watching, I'm not sure if you even watch YouTube. I have no idea. We didn't really even talk about that stuff.
No.
I just got a chance to get to know him a little bit. It was a real treat. He is about as nice as you would hope in terms of his social media interactions, and it was just again a real pleasure. We also briefly met Josh and Rachel, and they were super friendly, very, very nice, as well as the Kinos. We had very limited interaction with them because the Kinos, as well as Josh and Rachel, and a couple of Ace Vegas. I'm sorry. Now I feel like a jerk because
no, there was so many.
There was a lot of people. Yeah. 2 very long tables. Yeah. We were at one. They were at the other. And by the time I got around to meeting some of the other people at the other table, I was 2 Tom-sized beers and another beer in, and could barely stand. So I apologize if I came off a little aloof. Maybe a little touchy-feely. I like hugs when I'm drinking, and I know that when a guy who's 6'4" that you've never met comes up and tries to give you a hug, it can be a little alarming. I don't think I tried to hug anybody.
I have no idea.
I really tried. But I do have to. I want to very quickly give a special shout out to the Kinos. Because while we had a very brief interaction with them, they came back from Vegas, and then on one of their lives, they gave us a huge shout out.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. It resulted in an immediate swell of followers or subscribers to our page. So Kinos, if you're watching,
thank you.
Thank you. That was super, super kind. And then Vegas Legacy.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
Carson and Ashley. They're great people. We spent a couple of nights out with them doing, I don't know, we were at a couple bars, just having a few drinks, doing some walking around, and we actually...
No, don't do it.
Oh.
Don't say it.
Why?
Because it's not confirmed yet.
Oh.
Are you going to hint at the next trip? It's not.
Well, now you just hinted at it.
Well, I haven't said anything that would get us into any sort of trouble if something doesn't work out. Let's just wait.
Okay. Well, we had fun with them anyways, so...
We really did.
Yeah.
And that's not to say we wouldn't have had as much fun with everybody else, but somehow we connected on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I said, hey, they're in the neck of the woods. Let's go down and meet them. I think we met at New York, New York. We had the $11 pizza and draft special.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a great deal on the Strip for pizza and beer. The pizza's okay. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. But for $11, I think you're going to have a tough time beating that.
Yep.
I'll throw up a picture. We met there, and then from there, they said, come to Stage Door with us.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So we weren't planning on spending the entire day with them, but somehow it worked out where we did. So we went to Stage Door with them, met obviously Mark, Penny's, we met Liz, we met his mom.
Mm-hmm. And then us old-ass people had to go back for a nap, and everyone kept partying and doing their thing. But...
Well, they had a prior engagement, and I didn't want to, just follow, but I was also like, okay.
But we did meet up with them again after our nap.
Yeah, met up with them at the Luxor.
Yeah.
Then we I think the next night after we again met up with them at Marktember, sat with them. Really, really great people. Super accommodating, super friendly, and it was a real treat. And even still, post-trip, Carson and I text quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So I think we've made some friends here.
Yes.
And again, that's not to say that we wouldn't have forged relationships with everybody, but we just had a kind of special connection and got to really know Carson and Ashley, and that was a treat. Go ahead. You say something?
Well, I was just going to say, there was one other couple we met. I don't think they have a page or anything, but...
Who am I forgetting?
It seems like everyone knew them quite well. They surprised Mark.
Oh, man, you're right. Thank you. And because actually, speaking of people I still communicate with, John from Ireland,
Yes.
as well as his lovely wife, Samantha. John started liking our page on Facebook, and then we started messaging on X or Twitter. Again, I'm always going to call it Twitter. And he told me that he was trying to surprise Pennies to make it from Ireland, and all of the connecting flights and crap that he would have had to get through to get to Tom's Urban in New York, to surprise Pennies. He told me he was going to try to do that, and he did. Really, a real treat meeting those two. Yeah. Unfortunately,
and it was so brief.
Yeah,
but I also, the small time that we met with them, they seem like great people.
Super nice. Yeah, salt
and
of the earth.
I really hope that we can meet up with them again.
Me too.
Sometime.
Yeah. We still talk, and I actually am envious of some of the offers that they're getting to come back. I don't know how they're doing it. You told me what you were getting. I think they're hoping, knock on wood, to go back in April. So we'll see what happens if our paths shall cross it in that beautiful city of Las Vegas again. But you're right. Good. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. It just so happened that the night they got in, we were leaving the next day. Yeah. So it just didn't quite work out that we got to spend a lot of time together. With all that being said, before we continue on, and this is already a long episode and we haven't gotten into a lot of it, this does lead me to a point that I want to say that at no point in what this is just for fun for us. This is something we don't have a life. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have any other.
We don't have
any other hobbies.
We like to travel.
Yeah, people ask us, and specifically, we like to go to Vegas.
Yes.
People ask us, how do you guys afford to go to Vegas as often as you do? Well, we don't have a camper. We don't have an RV. We don't have quads. We don't have snowmobiles. We don't have. This is our hobby.
Don't go out a lot.
Yeah, we're sort of homebodies. We save our money, and then we go hard in Vegas when we go down, and we like to go 3, 4, 5 times a year. So this thing that we're doing has only become one of those, let's just do it for fun. We try to do it right. We try to do it well. We try to take it seriously. But at no point I said it to myself, I'm not going to do this if it begins to feel like a job. Yeah. I'm not going to do this if it begins to be a pain in my ass. And it hasn't. But it's been really nice being sort of welcomed into this community where there's a lot of people with big channels and a lot of followers. And again, I have to stress at no point has anybody said, talk to me when you get to 2,000. Yeah. We don't have 200, right? So, and I do want to give a special shout out because one of those big creators who I also thought was very, very nice was Reggie. We met up with him the last trip. Reggie being That Casino Life. We met up with him at Rio. We played some roulette with him, and Sean was there. Sean and I have talked a lot on Twitter and X. It was great to meet Sean and his lovely wife. This is what I don't care. How many and I have to stress this, I don't give a shit how many followers we get out of this. The people we've been able to meet that have a passion for Las Vegas and hanging out and having a good time, that's what's made it all worth it, as far as I'm concerned. To be able to go down there.
Great people.
Totally.
By having our few followers.
We have a lot of great friends where we're from. They're beautiful people. They do not get Las Vegas like we do. So it's tough for us to be like, hey, we're going somewhere. You want to go to Vegas? Not again. Yeah. Right? So it's nice to have and to know people where we can say, hey, we're going down. Are you going to be down there? Great. Cool. We'll see you down there. Anyway, that's it. That was a big part of our trip. It just so happened to be a coincidence that it all worked out, and we had a great time with all those people. It was phenomenal. That's part one of the good. We're going to have to breeze through the rest of this because this is going to be a lot of work to edit. Next on the good, we stayed at the Aria for the first time ever.
He got to tell you.
Well, you can go ahead and elaborate.
Well, I thought we weren't getting into it.
Well, we're not going to give it a Vegas valuation, but we are going to talk a little bit about the fact that it's pretty awesome.
You just did it again.
Oh my God. Talk.
We stayed at the Aria. And it was fantastic. Like, so nice. My new favorite.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to get into it because we'll do an evaluation on it one of these days. But no, it was fantastic. Like I don't have anything bad to say about it.
Yeah, right now you're watching some roll, B-roll, or whatever you want to call it, the room tour. And again, we will do a full Vegas valuation. We'll do a deep dive. And if you haven't seen any of our Vegas valuation videos on hotel reviews, go check it out. We're pretty friendly with a lot of our reviews, except for the Flamingo, and even that one wasn't a terrible rating. But so that's why we don't want to go too far, into the woods with what we've got going on at Aria. But it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
The casino floor is lively. It's fresh feeling. The room itself was gorgeous, very, very nice. And the value.
We're not doing a Vegas.
No, I know, but I'm not going to give it a ranking, but the value is starting to get there.
Yeah, well, I think that's because Cosmos nailed it.
You just nailed it. Right there.
Because Cosmos threw the freaking roof.
If you've been wanting to check it out, now's the time. Because as soon as they brought Cosmo into the MGM family officially, the rates for Aria went down and the rates for Cosmo went up. And so the value for Aria is all of a sudden white hot. You're talking about a very nice resort, and the prices dropped, in our experience, from what we've been noticing and watching, quite substantially.
Yes.
Over the last little bit.
There was a point where we wouldn't even think to stay there because we were like, no.
If you've been looking for a trip to Vegas and wanting to stay at the Aria, do it right now because, the value is certainly there. All right, so that was another good. And finally, very, very quickly, we rented a car like we like to do when we go down there and do these trips. And this time we went to the Hoover Dam.
We had plans to go do other things, but it was so hot that we could not go to the Valley of Fire that day because we barely could make it through. Well, I barely could make it through the Hoover Dam. It was so hot.
Oh, I wanted to do the tour, and we got from the park. And if you've never been to Hoover Dam, it is quite the jaunt to get from some of the parking areas to just the area where you do your tour. And you do get to see a lot of the dam. It's very, very impressive. By the time we got from the parking lot, and again, it is a jaunt. We're not talking about the Walmart parking lot, to the area where you could start and get in line for the tour and book one of those. We were both like, okay, maybe not today. Put it this way. There's something called cooling stations set up along the walk from point A to point B. And it's just basically a gigantic-ass fan in the shade.
Spitting a little bit of water.
A little mister. Huge-ass fan. And some guy with like a spray bottle going, are you cool yet? No, it's not like that. But I will say that the drive to the Hoover Dam was awesome. Yeah. Some beautiful scenery. Mm-hmm. Really, really nice. Even if you don't take the dam tour, just going to Hoover Dam, taking a look around, marveling at what an accomplishment this is.
Yeah.
It is crazy. You've got to see it. You really, really do, in person, to get a true feel for the sweat equity that in the 30s, think about how crazy far we've come in technology. The 30s, men and women literally died to create that thing. It's incredibly impressive, as was, I thought, the drive to get there. Very beautiful, stunning scenery. Highly, highly recommend. We won't do a Vegas valuation on the Hoover Dam because
we didn't do
there's not enough
tour or anything like that. But
yeah, I don't have enough information for us to kind of lean into it. But the drive itself, seeing it, very, very cool.
You know, there's one thing I just want to add to our good list that I forgot about it until we started talking about this. But on our way back, we actually stopped in Boulder City, and we stopped at a little restaurant that was absolutely fantastic.
It was called Fox Barbecue in Boulder City. So we went from, we went to Hoover Dam, and then we said, let's find some place to stop for lunch.
Yeah.
We then went to the Hoover Dam Casino and immediately walked out. I think we put $20 into one of the machines. It's like Inception. It's casinos inside of casinos inside of casinos.
It was so weird.
If you've never been to the Hoover Dam Casino, it's probably actually, and I'll roll some video here of the entertainment. Those are the sexy, dancy ladies. Whoo, boy, it got steamy. All right, let's get into it. The bad. Do you want to start?
Sure. Our room at MGM Grand.
We're going to do a Vegas valuation on this one, too.
Yeah, but it was not nice.
Okay. This is the channel that gave Excalibur an 8 out of 10. And some of you who maybe you've never seen it, we base our ratings and rankings, our Vegas valuations, on the value. The less you pay, the less I expect. And for what I pay at Excalibur, I think the value's pretty high.
Yes.
To be honest with you, especially, having stayed at all sorts of different hotels. So that's where we came up with the 8. If you are a regular MGM person, not MGM Grand specifically, just MGM in terms of the family of hotels that they have in Las Vegas, you'll know that they deem MGM Grand higher in terms of their prices than New York, then Luxor, then Excalibur, and then Mandalay Bay. I've seen Mandalay Bay cheaper than MGM Grand. So we're walking in to MGM Grand thinking, this is going to be pretty nice. Well, it wasn't.
For starters, we got a room on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Facing an empty whatever.
It was basically an alleyway on a roof.
Yeah.
Not great.
And the room was, I don't even know. It was bad.
It was, okay, it wasn't bad. It was fine. That's the issue I have here. I don't deem the room as bad. There was one issue, we're going to talk about that in a second. It was underwhelming. All of this hate online toward the Excalibur and toward the Luxor. And then we go over to MGM Grand, why isn't the hate equal online then? Because the room is about as impressive. It's a little larger, basic, I guess, but there was a shower curtain, a basic tub.
Yeah.
A shower. It's 2024. A shower curtain? Even the Flamingo doesn't have shower curtains, MGM.
Yeah. Or Excalibur.
Yeah. Some rooms do, but rooms that we've stayed at have the walk-in shower for the most part, Excalibur. I'm blown away. I was like, wow, really? This is... Especially for it to be ranked higher than New York, never in my wildest dreams would I recommend MGM Grand over New York. No. Never going to happen. MGM Grand as a resort, yeah, I guess it's fine. It's big. I think it's too big. It's a jaunt to get to your room. It's like, holy cow. And it's a jaunt to get anywhere. By the time you get out of the resort, you want to go back in because you're tired. I don't know. I mean... I don't want to make it sound like the room was infested with bugs or dirty,
but
it was all of this hype, all of this negative hype toward the Excalibur, especially when we posted our video. They're like, oh, it's terrible. And then I go over to MGM, I'm like, what's the difference? I see no difference between these two rooms, to be honest with you.
No, the only difference is price.
Price. It's higher. And again, that's how we rank our Vegas valuations. Based on what we pay. And we had to pay more than what we would have had to pay at the Excalibur, and in our opinion, got about the same, if not less.
Actually, it was less.
It was. Yeah. No, I would. Our safe did not work. And here's a helpful tip for you. It is illegal for them, being the resort of any resort in Nevada, any hotel in Nevada, I think specifically Las Vegas, but I'm pretty sure this is Nevada law, for them not to provide you with an adequate or working safe. That is the law in Nevada.
And we informed them, and no one fixed it.
We did indeed. We phoned. They said, we'll send somebody up. Nobody came.
Anyways.
Yeah, we'll give it a... Yeah.
We'll get into it another day, but that was a bad.
Deeper review at a later date, but just so you're aware, that's our experience. Okay, very, very quickly. Also bad. And this isn't anybody's fault. This is gambling, folks. You win some and you lose some.
And we lost.
And we lost some. We lost a lot. We had some decent hits. We had some decent pays. But this was probably, in terms of our money in, money out, this one hurt.
Yeah.
Very little money
one
out.
of our worst.
Definitely, yeah. And it's funny, I'm seeing a lot of it on X recently about, man, anybody notice that the machines in Vegas are super tight? Really tight. Can't seem to win anything. Yeah, I guess I've noticed it. Sometimes I just think it is what it is. Like, again, that's gambling. I'm not going to put on my tinfoil hat and call it a conspiracy just yet. But I do believe that in my going to Vegas, this was probably the roughest one we've had. The Frankenstein game comes to mind, the bonus. And the bonus on Frankenstein isn't easy to get. We finally get the bonus. Nothing.
No, we did pretty good on the Frankenstein one.
We did twice. We got the bonus. We did okay. And then later on in the trip, and further to your point, once the weekend hit, the luck ran out. It was dry. And we hit a Frankenstein bonus. We're like, all right, this is going to turn things around. 8 games and nothing. Yeah. And actually, one picture that got a lot of attention that I'm gonna share right now. We're playing one of the Willy Wonka games, but we were slow rolling. We're supposed to leave Vegas, so
we were betting 75 cents.
We were basically down to the last $100 we got because we've had zero luck. And we're like, all right, well, let's just kill some time. Well, we were playing the Willy Wonka game at MGM, and we hit a screen of all wilds.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this was during a bonus feature, and that screen can go even taller. So it wasn't the largest the screen could go, but it was halfway to that.
Yeah.
All wilds across the board. We won $72.
No, I think it was 75.
Right, 10% of probably what we were betting.
So it was just so funny to see all of those wilds. I've never seen that before.
Me neither. I'm like, this is it. We did it. We're going home millionaire. I was so excited. $72. Yeah, or whatever it was. So there you go. The luck. Hey, comment. Let us know if you've noticed the same thing. We'd love to hear from you. But that's a few people that we've talked to now. We're like, yeah, the luck lately has been dog shit. Yeah. Okay, finally, this is going to have to be quick, but I do want to, because it's been a long one.
Yeah.
The ugly Dane Cook at the Palms.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to preface this with, before these Dane Cook haters come at me, because they very well might. I know my stand-up comedy. In fact, I would defy you to find many more people than us, and even prior to us knowing it, that have been to more stand-up comedian shows. And I've seen the big hitters. Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Bill Burr, Jim Gaffigan, Tom Segura, Ray Romano, David Spade. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Brad Garrett's. We've been to all of the comedy venues on the Strip and the one in the Rio. We've been to them all. So don't come at me and be like, well, you just don't really understand comedy. Yes, I do. I want to make that abundantly clear. Dane Cook at the Palms sucked.
Yeah.
He sucked.
Well, and it started off with him being extremely late.
45 minutes. He was 40. And so, okay. I'm a big guy. So before he even hits the stage, before his warm-up act hits the stage, I was irritable because I'm uncomfortable. I'm in pain. And so
we're squished in there. No cup holders.
No, God. Yeah, that's the one knock I have on the Palms, the theater. I think it's called the Pearl or something.
Yes, the Pearl.
Not bad. Not a bad showroom.
No.
But no, come on.
And I like the Palms.
It's okay. It's nice. Fucking cup holders, guys.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So,
You're going to charge us fucking $20? Sorry, I'm getting upset now. You're going to charge us $20 for a drink and not have cup holders?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was annoying.
So 45 minutes goes by. You're holding your drink. You're doing the awkward, I'm going to put it underneath me, but then I'm going to look down every 30 seconds because I'm afraid I'm going to knock it over. He finally comes out, and in his defense, I guess, he did sort of tell us, I'm feeling a little weird tonight. That's how he fucking started the show. This is going to get no views because I'm using the F word too much. But what do you mean you're feeling a little weird? Just do your act, bro. Do your set. If you don't know stand-up comedy, they have prepared bits that they've been working on. They go to comedy sellers and shows and venues all over the country to perfect the act, and then they put it on a big stage. That's what the good ones do. Dane Cook comes out and says, I'm feeling a little weird. Maybe I'm just going to go off script or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And were it not for he did basically an hour of making fun of two people in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was garbage. So with all due respect to Dane Cook, I was never really a huge fan. He was big at one point, but you know what?
He was okay.
Yeah, he was okay, but we liked stand-up comedy.
And we thought we would give it a chance.
Yeah. I will give this a quick Vegas valuation score. 2 out of 10.
Yeah, it was not good.
I think I'm gonna try to pull it up if I can. Someone saw that I had tweeted about the Dane Cook show, and then said we left halfway through.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
I'll throw this tweet up.
We should have.
We honestly, there was people getting up and going like, "Do you think this is?" I think I even asked you, "Do you think this is all people going to the bathroom?" Yeah. And no, they were leaving the show. Yeah, sorry, Dane Cook, but there it is. The good, the bad, the ugly. That was a long, long show. If you manage to stick it out, good
on you.
Good for you. Thanks.
Our rambling on.
Yeah, but you know what? We enjoy talking about Vegas, and if you enjoy hearing about it and maybe getting a few ideas for your trip, hopefully this helps. Yeah. Very, very quickly, if you liked this video, like this video.
And subscribe.
And I think this is going to be our new slogan. We should probably put this on some T-shirts. If you like our vibes, please subscribe.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like this video, and if you like our vibes, please subscribe.
Please subscribe.